This is the introduction video to my secret entrance to Calaveras Big Trees State Park. Location undisclosed. I get a lot of flack from locals asking me why I would want to advertise or promote secret spots in our area. Honestly, they consider themselves locals. They didn't grow up here, most of them, and we all came from somewhere. My grandparents came here almost 69 years ago, and I was raised in this area, was born in the area, went to school in the area. This was our backyard. We do not visit Calaveras Big Trees State Park very often. The reason is simple. It's overpopulated to our liking. Something that was brought to my attention when I was disclosing a favorite spot. We were sitting in a restaurant, and one of our younger locals, not from here, didn't go to school here, he said, "Why would you share that information, John?" I said, number one is that our area is too beautiful not to share. Number two is none of us are from here. Coming up on the entrance right now. This is a really nice local spot. Two reasons we use it. We don't have to wait in line to get into the park. We don't have to fight with parking. As you can see, there were just a couple of vehicles here. It's connected to a subdivision locally. That gate is actually the fire road that leads into the park, and we are going to take a short hike up and over the hill. My weighted vest, my rucksack on. We're going to take a little hike. Go live, get outside. We're out today on a little rock coming into the backside of Calaveras Big Trees State Park, California. This is a little secret entrance. Only the locals or the subdivision owners know about. Allows us to come in to hike into Calaveras Big Trees. We're actually in the park right now. Allows us to avoid the parking, the entrance, traffic, and all the people until we get into the actual park. It's actually a quite pleasant entrance to the park. You can see around me. There's a lot of slash out here. They've been cleaning it up slowly. This is a fire road. Access to the backside. Most of the locals do not like it when I do these types of videos, especially if I share the location of how you enter this trail. It's obviously not promoted by the park. And a caveat to that, I will say that most of the locals that claim that they are locals and do not want these videos released, or the location of these trails released to the general public, they aren't from here. They weren't raised here. And if they were, their parents hadn't been here that long. This area is really new, and it has been discovered. My grandparents moved here 69 years ago. I'm 54. My father was 5 years old. Technically, I'm not from here. It'd be very hard to be from here, considering it's so new. Tend to get very possessive over certain areas and spots, especially when you're this secluded. As you can see, there's no one out here. I had to pause before I started because there was a group coming into the subdivision who didn't know about the trail. And if you'd like to know the location, I'll send you a private message or a private link once I have email system set up, and there'll be a way for me to connect and share different videos and different secret trails around the area with a specific link for the location description as to where the trailhead begins. So comment link, and they're in the comments. Location, I'll send that to you. This is going to be part of my go live, get outside initiation. Trying to do these videos. I want to build a community, people that might be interested in taking advantage of these hikes. And we'll be traveling, right now we're about 4,200 foot elevation. We'll be going from maybe 2,800, 2,500 foot elevation up to 8,000 foot elevation. Some of it will be hiking, rucking. I got my weighted vest on today, running 25-pound vest today. We'll get into some snowshoeing this winter, and maybe we'll get some footage out on a paddleboard on some highland lakes. Favorite spots of mine that we have avoided quite a bit, mostly because they have become very overpopulated in our opinion. But if we avoid them much longer, that would just be an excuse. An excuse that I've been using for 30 years to not get outside and enjoy our area more. Can't let other people run us out, run us away from our favorite things that we do. And those that you don't know, or just tuning into the channel, I'm Oliver, 54 years old, Oliver is my middle name. I have 3 first names, coined by a friend of mine. Oliver is my middle name. It's my creative side, and I'm using it to get back in touch with who I am, myself, me. Get back out and do the things that we used to do. My father has a funny phrase, or had a funny phrase. He passed a few years ago. I used to could. He wasn't highly educated. Neither am I, for that matter. But the reality is, we always talk about the things that we used to do, the activities that we used to do. It used to be cliff jumping, Utica Reservoir, or camping for a month in the summertime as kids in one of the local reservoirs. And honestly, I haven't done very little of that in my adult life. Like I said, there were one reservoir in particular that came since I was born, the Spicer Dam Reservoir. And up until that reservoir went in, you absolutely could not access the other lakes or slick rock four-wheel drive trail unless you had a four-wheel drive to get there, or you're a very skilled driver. So we used to enjoy that area a ton. And since Spicer Dam Reservoir went in and they paved it, then you had to make reservations or open camping, but it would be so packed. Okay, here we go. North Grove Campground, half a mile. We're only 9.5 minutes or 10 minutes into this walk. There's the park boundary sign. You can see where we just came from. An 8-mile, Moran Gate 15. And then you can see over here, I've got the sun battling. Another hiking trail here. Goes up and around the back side of the subdivision. Today we're gonna go right into North Grove on the back entrance. Oh, you can see there's a little setup there. Not quite sure. I guess that's gonna be a burn area. I say they've really been cleaning up a lot of slash and a lot of forest cleanup in the park. You can see the puddles here. We are Thanksgiving weekend, actually Black Friday. We just recently got 6.5 inches of rain. It's kind of amazing that I'm out here in shorts today, and it was a high of 60 degrees. So my goal with my channel is, yes, I will at some point do some product reviews, things that have worked for me, equipment or nutrition or things that I use on a daily basis. Again, I am not a trainer. I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm not a doctor. Not going to try to guide you or tell you what are the best practices, only maybe what has worked for me, or what are the challenges that I'm trying to accomplish. When I say challenges, I mean I'm in the middle of a 55-day deep squat challenge that I put on myself right now. You can see this whole area. Sorry, I'm getting off track. You can see this is all, trees are burned up a little bit. They're not damaged. They were just out burning debris and clean up. So again, 54 years old. I've gotten too far out of touch with my physical fitness and my nutrition over the past 30 years. And I hope to inspire others that are either thinking about getting into shape, or that 25-year-old, that 35-year-old that is still active and still out hiking and biking and swimming and whatever they do. Encourage them to not stop, not let life get in the way. Because I can tell you from experience, at 54, trying to get back into shape is much harder than it would have been to stay in shape. Arguably, my fitness, my physical fitness is not what it should be. Is it possible to say, oh, 54 years old, I'm going to clean up my act and I'm going to quit drinking every day and quit using nicotine, and then I'm going to start going to the gym and I'm going to lose 25 or 30 pounds and I'm going to eat cleaner? And yeah, I might live to be 80 years old with that in mind, with that mindset, cleaning up the diet. The reality is I just lost all those years, and it hasn't been proven yet whether or not I'll be able to live to be 80 because of the choices that I did or didn't make in my 30s and 40s. Now I've waited till I'm 54 to get started again. It's not what you want to do. Trust me. I'm just panning just so you guys can get a good visual of what's going on here. What the trail looks like. You can see that there's partial pavement. I happen to know that this was probably the original road to the big trees back in the 30s. There's some indication on old maps, which I could show you in future episodes or when they're in the office. I'm an architectural designer, and we have all the old county maps from the county that show road to the big trees rather than California Highway 4. And if you did your research, you would probably be able to figure out where the entrance to this trail is based on that information that I've given you. The information's out there. It is available. You just have to know where to look. And if you don't have time to look, like I said before, comment location and I'll send you a map to the secret trailhead gate. Calaveras Big Tree State Park. Sorry. One of the most difficult things about starting the YouTube channel that I had no idea of is what the difficulties were going to be and how badly I was going to dislike myself on video. I've always kind of known, but the reality is until you really start doing videos to publish, you have no idea how difficult it can be. Either you don't like the way you sound, or you don't like the way you look. The equipment that you're using, obviously I'm just using my phone. I'm using dual caption video mode on my phone, Samsung 20 Plus, and I'm still using the Samsung 20 Plus. It has a capacity of a micro SD card, which I appreciate. None of the newer versions have that. We're getting close to the park now. I don't know how busy it will be at this moment in time, but it's kind of irregardless. This is just a really peaceful entrance. It'd be more peaceful if you didn't have me jammering in your ear. And I really want you to get a real-time feel for what it's like, what the trail is like. It's really not bad. It's only a mile and a half or so, 1.3 miles, I think. Of course, I'm filming. I'm going slow. You can see the parking lot down here. There's not a lot of cars in this portion of the parking lot. It's later in the afternoon. I'm sure a lot of people are here this morning, or they will be here tomorrow. The weekends get kind of crazy up here. Okay, we're coming into the North Grove. See the gate up ahead. This is obviously just to keep other vehicles out of here. Only an access for park rangers and hikers. Dogs, you may obviously notice that I like to ruck with my dog, Maximilian. Today, no Maxie. It's a state park. Oh, sorry, just heard something. It's a state park and dogs are not allowed on the trails. Obviously they can be in the park, but they're not allowed on the trails, and I'm hoping that I have an opportunity to at least take you on a trail or two. Actually, I'm going to head out over here into the meadow, and there's going to be other people on the trail. I'll probably just allow you to enjoy the views, take in the scenery. Hopefully we get over to the boardwalk. And then we might head up to the visitor center and just see what the other parking lot looks like. If you're not familiar, you can see the car up here on the right. Has a Christmas tree on top. You can get permits to cut your own tree. Obviously they had some fun today. Public restrooms. Whoa, right into the sun. Sorry about that. Okay. Making our way over one of the boardwalks. And this is where maxi would not be allowed. And there's going to be people on the trail, so I'm just going to take in the sounds around us, and you can take in the scenery. In about another month or month and a half, we'll have good snow on here. We could snowshoe into here. You can see this is the fragile area. Stay on trail. I'm just gonna pan out into the meadow here. Don't really see any sequoias out here. Well, you can see the tops of them. There you go. This entire meadow will be covered in snow. You won't even be able to see the boardwalk at all. This area gets about 12 feet of snow a year. I'm just gonna pan over here.
Without a bell.
This way, guys.
Or a bell. What? Can a bell climb up?
You can see campers out in there. We're near the campground. Very difficult to get into the campgrounds around here. You can see this boardwalk. I know I'm going into the sun. This isn't the greatest. See, still have some good fall color right now in certain areas. Sorry, my voice is down. Hikers behind me probably don't want to hear me jammering any more than you do. We're going to come up into the shade here, and then we'll wait for them to pass, and we'll head back down this boardwalk and onto the other section going up into the campground and towards the visitor center. And once we get the sun behind us, we'll get a better visual. As you can imagine, there's a lot of deer that roam through this area. You can see them behind me here, the color from this, especially from the sun hitting it right now. It's just beautiful right now. Now we're pretty much getting out of fall. You can see the cars going by on the highway right there. Try to stay somewhat in focus. And there's nothing more annoying than the sun, other than, like I said, my jammering. My goal with becoming more primal is simple. Trying to clean up my nutrition, trying to regain mobility with animal movements, stretching. Right now I'm in this deep squat challenge. That's been very eye-opening as to the poorness of my flexibility. Encourage everyone to try it. Get used to it. Make it a part of their daily lives. There's a little, doubt you can read that. Wet and vital habitat to the park. Heading up to the visitor center area right now. See all the cars out in the parking lot there. And this isn't really that busy. A little too cold for most campers. There's just a few campers out here right now. Out for the holiday weekend. Tomorrow, they'll be all here hiking. You can see this is kind of overflow parking. Just trying to show the parking lot to some degree, just so you can understand why, one of the reasons why we like using the secret pathway, the hiking trail. See, I'm trying to avoid most of the cars. There are some families out camping. Picnic area, day use. With a hut here. There's the North Grove campground. That's the actual sign for the campground. This is just overflow parking here. It's a good 5-mile drive for us to get up to the park. And it takes about the same amount of time, 10 or 15 minutes. So maybe twice as long to drive and hike in. As you can imagine, this is much more enjoyable. A little more work. That's okay. You're getting up to the main parking area. Like I said, that was just overflow. If that's any indication. And there there would be cars on either side of this, except for no parking between signs. I'm going to actually go through the parking lot, and I'm going to hit another trailhead up here. But I think I'm going to end this video here at the parking lot, and we'll start phase 2.